Hey everybody, it is Sunday, September 27th, and we're looking at what the media and the markets are saying about coronavirus. I tell you, it is a fascinating thing to be living through, and just hearing all the different opinions and conspiracy theories, and it's going to be amazing what we know 5 years from now, looking back, because it's really seemed to be a challenge of understanding to what extent the economy is going to be affected, and to what extent the market should be affected. And many have pointed out that Wall Street does not represent Main Street, and the performance that we've seen here does not tell the whole story. Here's the S&P. Had a pretty fair pullback there. Why don't we have a look at NASDAQ, see if that's still under. As we'll see from one reviewer who was suggesting that NASDAQ might only pull back 10% when most people were saying it was going to pull back 20%. And so he's doing his victory lap right now, because we have seen some stabilization right here. So yeah, let's see what some of the stories are. This one was about millions laid off in search of health insurance. We also have, it seems like sometimes it's here and sometimes it's not. Like this, Corona rage. All right, so over on here, Yahoo Finance, what did they have? There actually wasn't a lot of good news today, and by good news, I'm referring to the type of news that's trying to predict the market or explain the market and why it's doing what it's doing. I think I looked at this one, so a little bit flying by the seat of my pants. Where's the market headed into year-end? Technical look and strategy. Yeah, one thing you'll hear is that even a lot of the fundamentalists will be looking at the technical analysts these days, because things just kind of seem really confusing on a fundamental basis. But the technicians have a different take, because they look at stock prices and charts and volumes, not about earnings expectations. So what do we got here? Where's your takeaway? Not the charts. Oh, that's a funny looking chart. The $64,000 question. Yes. Bottom. Here we go. 10 price turning second to turn from being bullish to. I want to see traders and investors turn from being bullish to bearish and discouraged. Well, maybe a means to enact that contrarian strategy. Okay. There wasn't much going on in Fox Business.
When the world gets complicated, a lot goes through your mind. With Fidelity Wealth Management, your dedicated advisor can give you straightforward.
A lot of people have been leaving, and there's increased subleases. What did they say? Maybe residential down 10%, some commercial down 20 to 30%. Talking about There's the dollar index, and that some of the political tensions. It's not taking a weakened dollar and turning that into foreign investment. That some of those investors, like from China, are a little chilled. But so far, not a big real estate impact from COVID yet. Barron's, I don't think there was too much that was being stated or predicted here. Yeah, I don't see anything there. Seeking Alpha is reliable. One of them, this one, the thesis Nasdaq would bounce, right? So here's where he does his vainglory, because he points back that most people were saying the opposite. They were still calling for a 20% drop. And he felt that it had come down sufficiently. Doesn't mean it's going to go straight up from here. Why is this different? Because who cares about the president? Cash for everyone. Yippee. Right. So here was his look at it. Right. That there's going to be some support there, and this is what everybody else was saying. And yeah, in a shorter term, you can see that there's some consolidation. Says he's nervous about this W. Some more caveats. So he says we're not heading for a crash. So yeah, there have been some correction in there. No, I don't think there's anything more in there. And CNBC. Double dip recession odds above 50%. We're usually looking at the markets here, not GDP growth.
So Schwab just taught me about an iron butter.
The commentary about a double dip recession is not entirely relevant to what we're talking about here, but it's right, as we head into flu season, new infection rates are moving back up, right? So let's look at these numbers here. Now, what you didn't see in this analysis is the different directions different states are going about masks and social distancing, and there's this cultural element where some folks are, they're tired of locking down. They're feeling that it was maybe overblown or a bit of a conspiracy, and you wonder, well, are those the folks who are going to be driving this possibility and will then be eating crow, or is will we be following one of these? So the middle one is what is currently being projected, and I've looked at this in the past, so I've got a recording of how this has changed. This lower one is supposed to mean universal masks, right? Which we're definitely not seeing. And what it kind of seems, what I think was going on here is that there's this presumption that if our current easing, right, causes deaths to exceed this previous peak here, that we're going to have to start being more careful in lockdowns, et cetera, on a national basis. And so I think that there's strong reason for this because we already did it over here, right? We as a nation exhibited like this this commitment to masks and social distancing and so forth. So why wouldn't we do it again here? Um, so uh, that's why this upper line, that really couldn't happen, because by the time it gets to the previous peak, you would think that we would just do the same thing that we previously did, because that's where we've demonstrated our tolerance. Unless our tolerance of death has changed. We shall soon see, and you'll look back and wonder if hindsight really is 2020.